This video was sponsored by Dragonheir. What is up, my fellow gamers? We are going over some important tips, tricks, how to prepare for Season 2, which is right around the corner. I'm gonna have timestamps down below in the description box so you can go ahead and navigate to whatever point you want. First, we're gonna go over Dragonheir as a whole. If you're brand new to this game, I'm gonna tell you a little bit about it, and then we're gonna jump into the Season 2 stuff. Dragonheir is an open world strategy RPG game that has a Western fantasy style theme to it. It incorporates many tabletop RPG mechanics represented by games like Dungeons and Dragons. Dragonheir already has over 10 million downloads worldwide and has reached the #1 top spot in more than 10 regions since its global launch. Dungeons and Dragons is one of the most popular tabletop RPG games, and it is doing a collaboration right now with Dragonheir. We're currently in the first phase of this collaboration, which has introduced the iconic D&D hero Drizzt Do'Urden to the Dragonheir universe as a playable character, along with the evil boss monster Errtu the Balor. During the collaboration, you can go ahead and team up with Drizzt and his Black Panther Guinevere, which have their own independent storyline in the Dragonheir universe. You'll also be able to consume dice to summon for Drizzt Do'Urden as a playable character on the Planeswalker summoning banner. This collaboration also brings special in-game skins as well for your D20 dice and your D4 dice. All you gotta do is complete the collaborated main quests along with the corresponding activities such as the Demon Hunt event. You can then go ahead and defeat the big villain boss Errtu in multiple different ways. After you complete the exclusive quest with Drizzt, Errtu will have his exclusive dungeon added to the game, and you can go ahead and unlock rich rewards by doing cumulative damage to him. Dragonheir is available on tons of different platforms, including Windows, Mac, Steam, the Epic Game Store, and compatible with mobile devices such as iOS and Android. All right, first thing we got that's going on is brand new regions. So we're gonna have a new whole region to explore. So first thing I gotta say is, if you have not already completed your main story quest, make sure you do that before Season 1 ends, because you're gonna get a ton of resources. Every time you go ahead and we complete these main quests, you're getting the premium currency, the red crystals that we're going to need for Season 2, because you're gonna see, I'm gonna talk about in a bit, what you should be doing is saving for those summons. We have a really amazing mechanic that is being added to Season 2 for the summoning system. So get through the main story quest as much as you can, complete all of it, get all of those rich rewards. We next have brand new heroes. Over 30 new heroes are gonna be added, along with 17 legendary heroes. Now, I'm not exactly sure if we're gonna get all 30 of them added right away, or if we're going to be released kind of like once a week or over time throughout the Season 2. So that's one thing that I'm gonna just be interested to see, if we just get 30 brand new heroes right off the bat on day one. That's gonna be pretty cool. But we wanna save as many summoning dice as you can, both kinds, the Starlight ones and the Helio ones. And that is because they're not just all legendaries. We got 17 new legendaries, but that means the other 13 heroes are a combination of epics and rares. So you want to get those new heroes, because I have a little bit of a hunch that those new heroes, even if they're rare, they are going to be very powerful for Season 2. We also got some new damage dealing added. We got Burn, Thunderbolt, and Ice Blast. We got some new equipment, new artifacts. So a hand in hand, new artifacts means that we're gonna have 3 new exclusive ones, 9 legendary ones, and 2 epics. So if we go over to the exchange, the artifact shop, now might be a good time to save up those imprint stones that you have, because of those new epics that we're gonna get. I imagine they're gonna be super duper strong and you're gonna wanna get them. I've got 15 saved up, so I am ready to buy all 3 of those new artifacts that we get for that. And then also the legendaries. I don't have any of these soul imprints for the legendaries just yet, unfortunately, but if you do, Save them up. Be on the lookout for those new artifacts. We also got a bunch of brand new monsters with 8 new dungeon bosses that will be upgraded, brand new skills and mechanics. We've got a brand new event coming. This is going to be a summoning event. So let's head over to the website, because the website gives us a little bit more of a deep dive than just that little blog does. All right, so here we go. We got an overview of the S2 updates. Really cool thing that we're also getting is mounts. I really like this idea. And with that, undersea exploration brings us a whole new race, and that is going to be the mermaids. These mermaids look pretty cool. I imagine these are going to be some of the new heroes that we get in this game. We also have new bosses await, but this right here is super important. The elemental affinity wheel will be rotating, so we're getting a whole new combination of elements paired up for season 2. We got poison and lightning, necros and fire, ice and radiant. This is important now because not necessarily building our heroes out. So all of our heroes are going to get reset to level 1. But what we can do is kind of start to get some ideas and kind of mess around with these combinations now, so that way we can do some team building. Now, I will say I don't think you should go ahead and summon just yet on these. We've got a Blessed Summons 4 and a Blessed Summons 3 going on right now. And I think it's a better idea to kind of hold off on using your summons and wait until season 2. And that is because the new hero benefits pool is going to guarantee us a legendary hero with every 10 draws. So you're gonna wanna save up as many of your red crystals and summoning dice as possible, so that way you can get those guaranteed legendary heroes in season 2. Additionally, if we take a look at our 3 new damage types, Burn, Thunderbolt, and Ice Blast, we can kind of get a hint at some of the new heroes we are gonna see introduced into the game. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for each one, so we got 15 in total right here. We also scroll down, we got some new gear and our new artifacts. Just going off this at first glance, I imagine the new gear and the new artifacts is going to have to do something with these new types of damage, so the Burn, the Thunderbolt, and the Ice Blast. Taking a look at the things that are going to be reset, we've got our heroes, so all the heroes are going to be back to level 1 like I said, so really grinding heroes now isn't really going to help us too much. Our artifacts are going to go back to level 0, but all the ones that we have unlocked are going to be still there. We've got all of our currency that we are going to have fully reserved, so these are not going to change. Our premium currency, like I said, start saving these up for those summons. We also have our imprint stones. Start saving these up for those new artifacts as well. The echoes are going to be converted, which we went over, and you should definitely use those in the shop. Artifacts reset to level 1. That's fine. Summon dice are saved. So like I said, go ahead and start saving up as many of these dice as you can for season 2. Get those guaranteed legendary summons. And then our growth materials right here, the essence. Essence gets converted to a percentage. And then we've got our growth materials, which are fully reserved. So all of our scrolls. Really, the number one thing is to farm this up as much as you can. All right, doing a quick preview of the new elemental affinities we have. Just kind of like a first impressions of what's going to be strong going into season 2. We have the necros and the fire. These ones I feel like are kind of going to be weird. I know we had fire and poison, which was like a pretty decent combination, but I feel like fire and necros, they could possibly surprise people. Like at first glance, I feel like the necros and the fire is just going to be kind of weird, because the fire is typically a lot of like wild checks, and then we have a lot of the necros with the whole summoning thing. They don't feel like they kind of mesh together really, like at first glance, but I feel like they could surprise us though. I would say out of the new elemental affinities that we're getting, my top pick is probably going to be the Ice and Radiant. I think Ice and Radiant is just going to dominate, because I feel like that is 2 of the strongest combinations to put together, because the ice, they go ahead and they got the frost effects, and you have some like big damage dealers, And then you also have the ability of Radiant, which gives you that rallying effect. Also, there are some Radiant heroes that are just straight up good for stuff like defense and just attacking. So there isn't ones that are always about that rally effect, but I feel like the rally effect is a lot easier to kind of get off solo. Like, you don't need to have so many heroes to really benefit from that rally effect. Whereas for like fire, for the wild checks, it feels like 1 or 2 heroes really can't benefit from that wild check. You really need to have at least like 4 really strong heroes that all have to do with like wild skills, so that way they can constantly trigger and do different things. And poison are going to be like a close second, right behind the ice and the radiant. Having a really good combination of poison that just puts out a lot of damage, paired up with lightnings like Nathaniel, who you got a really amazing support, along with some other lightnings who do some like AoE damage and stuff like that. Like, there's some pretty decent lightning rares that we have down here, which I think was one of the problems that the poison element kind of lacked. Was the poison doesn't have really very strong survivability. I would feel like a lot of the poison is just kind of like hitting hard and dealing lots of poison damage, poison over time, but they don't have that really strong support, the ability to really remove a lot of debuffs, or even like a really strong upfront tank for those lower rarities. I'm talking like the rares and the epics. This is going to be another combination that I would definitely look out for, the poison and lightning. But my number 1 pick for season 2 is going to be ice and radiant. Link down below in the description box to start your journey in Dragonheir. Click that link and download the game now. Stay happy, stay safe, and I'll see y'all later. Peace.